Hey everybody, welcome. I'm so glad you could join me on this April 17th. Just hitting a little refresh. Oh my god, oh my goodness. Oh no. I don't know if you can see this. I just fried my mouse live. I set the candle down in the wrong place and just started burning. Normally I use a wireless mouse, but I've been having issues with it, and oh my goodness, I was using a wired mouse and I just lit it on fire. That's not good. Oh man, flame on. Holy cow. Oh, it's got a real plastic smell too. Yikes. Oh. Okay. All right. Woo! Take two. Here we go. There we. Don't know what's happening with that either. Oh, we got all kinds of issues today, but that's okay. We'll make it work. I do see that I'm live, so that's good. Anyway, welcome to the show. I got something interesting to talk about today. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show. And we're streaming live. We're on YouTube and we're on Rumble, rumble.com/coffeenuance/live. You can just bookmark it. Make it easy to find. But today, we're talking about rules for the climate hypocrisy. Thank you. Yeah, we're diving headfirst into the world of weather manipulation and political finger pointing. So grab your umbrellas, because it's about to pour hypocrisy. Yeah. Let's talk about Dubai, shall we? Heavy rainstorm hits, flooding the streets faster than a flash sale at a designer handbag store. And what's the first thing everyone starts whispering about? Yeah, you guessed it. Cloud seeding. Suddenly, it's like we're in a sci-fi movie and the government's playing God with the weather. But here's the kicker. The officials there, they deny any connection, like a kid with crumbs on his face and a full mouth claiming, I didn't eat the cookies. Now, for those of you not in the loop, cloud seeding is like the weather version of a magic trick. You sprinkle some particles onto the cloud, say a few incantations, and poof, you've got yourself a rainstorm, or at least that's the idea. But here's where it gets interesting. While officials are busy denying any involvement in this rainy business, they're also the ones who signed off on the whole cloud seeding shebang in the first place. But wait, there's more. While they're out here playing weather wizards, they're also the same folks who want to regulate every single aspect of our lives. Wood burning stoves in our cabins to emissions coming from cars. It's like they're living in a parallel universe where the rules only apply to us, the mere mortals. Well, they want a free pass to do whatever the heck they want to do. Look, I'm all for a good rainstorm now and then. I live in Portland. Let's call a spade here. If these politicians are serious about tackling the weather, they need to start by practicing what they preach. Because if they don't, we might as well start investing in waterproof suits and building an ark in your backyard. Remember, keep an eye on the weather forecast and never trust a politician with a cloud seeding machine. Stay dry out there. My name's Tom Coffey. This is the Coffey Nuance Show. Best censored commentary news show live right now. Flame on. Yeah, how about that? So let's get to this story about what's happening in Dubai. Crazy floods. And so this is an article from CNN, so keep that in mind. But in Dubai, a heavy rainstorm caused flooding, leading to speculation about the United Arab Emirates cloud seeding program, if that was to blame. However, officials deny any connection between the rain and the cloud seeding, Cloud seeding aims to enhance precipitation by introducing particles into the clouds, but its effectiveness is uncertain and controversial. While some studies suggest it may increase rainfall slightly, skepticism remains. Additionally, cloud seeding could exacerbate drought in some regions. The recent torrential rainfall in UAE was part of a larger storm system, they say, totally independent of any cloud seeding efforts. And such extreme weather events are expected to become more common because of, that's right, climate change. Okay, so that's what they're blaming this on. They had a whole bunch of rain there, but it's not the fact that they're up there seeding the clouds to rain more. It's not that they're messing with all kinds of things like that. No. The extra rain, that's from climate change. Okay. That's, and both those things could be true. They could be true. They could be true. It's so funny how conspiracies turn into reality after you just give it a little time. We've heard for years, like, oh, wow, the clouds look different. I've heard that, in the Bay Area, the clouds really look different now. And they also happen to be doing some cloud seeding things. I don't know. Maybe we shouldn't be messing with the weather. Maybe we should be, as Jordan Peterson says, make your bed first, right? Why don't you take care of the issues? I think that there's a lot more contribution to climate change of having people just burn trash on the streets and just litter everywhere. Let that litter seep into the groundwater. I think that's probably a lot worse than all these little tiny regulations that they're putting on everyone. But hey, that's just my take on it. What do I know? Not a whole lot. Not a whole lot. But anyway, are you familiar with cloud seeding? Are you? I still am not. I watched a couple videos on it. Looks interesting, but perhaps there's some good to it. But like all things, there can't be pros without cons. Is there anything that's a pro without a con? Probably not. Probably not. And we really haven't heard anyone talk about what are the cons for messing with the weather like this. Anyway, let me know about that and your thoughts. Your thoughts on this in the comments. I'll be going through all your comments in the after show, so stick around for that. But we got a couple of stories to get to today. So let's get to the first one. Everybody's favorite city, LA. Yeah, so Mayor Karen Bass delivered an upbeat State of the City address focusing on the urgency of addressing homelessness, about time, through a collaborative effort that involves the private sector. She issued a call to action for the most fortunate Angelenos to participate in a capital campaign, I think that means money, aimed at expediting the creation of affordable housing for the homeless population. Bass emphasized the critical role of personal, private sector, and philanthropic funds in acquiring properties, reducing capital costs, and accelerating housing projects through the LA for LA initiative. This highlights the necessity for leveraging both public and private resources to effectively tackle the homelessness crisis. Now, the big line in here is, getting the wealthy people to pay their fair share. Pay their fair share. We hear a lot about paying your fair share. Let's use everything as an excuse to tax the wealthy more. Well, here's the rub on this, and it doesn't seem like many people that want to raise taxes understand, incentives or logic or economics or anything like that. I've just been reading stories about here in Portland. The exodus of people from Portland were the wealthiest people. And many of them are just moving across the river to Vancouver, Washington, that has a totally different tax system than we have here in Portland. Portland wants to keep raising the taxes, and they actually have like a millionaire tax here. So that millionaires and people with even more money pay a higher percentage. And that may sound, okay, well, that may sound a little fair. However, if you can't do this nationwide, if people can just pick up and move across the river and then avoid paying that, what happens to the city? Spoiler alert, the taxes that come in, it's mostly from wealthy people, okay? That's who contributes most of the taxes to the city's coffers, right? And if you do things like they're doing here in Portland by raising taxes on the wealthy just move out. They may keep an apartment here. They may have a nice apartment here that they might even live in. They might have a place downtown. They may have a vacation home or something like that. But they'll move their official residence somewhere a little more tax-friendly. And then guess what happens? What happens? The city gets a whole lot less tax money coming in. This is only a very temporary thing, but in the long run, if you push out the wealthy people, then you don't get any of their tax money. And that's what Karen Bass is doing here in LA, having some initiatives to make wealthier people pay more, and that's just going to get them to move outside the city limit so they don't have to pay. And then you'll have less taxes. Why does no one understand this? It's bizarre. It's really bizarre. And obviously things are more complicated. I'm oversimplifying things, but I think that's a fair oversimplification for what's going on. Now, next up, as it is Big Idea Wednesday, I got a big idea, but I need your help on this one. So this story is a couple of months old, but I see that it's been trending on TikTok and some other social media. Burger King launched a $1 million Whopper contest, inviting customers to submit their creative Whopper ideas for a chance to win $1 million and have their creations sold nationwide. Entrants, who must be members of the Royal Perks program, can customize their Whopper with up to 8 toppings and submit their ideas online. The contest will use AI to generate renderings of the designs, which can be shared on social media. 3 finalists will refine their concepts at Burger King headquarters in Miami, and the winning creation will be determined by customer votes. Additionally, Burger King will host a pop-up experience in California featuring California-inspired Whopper. An exclusive merchandise. This contest coincides with the launch of Burger King's candied bacon Whopper. What? And plans for a fiery big fish sandwich. So here's the interesting thing. I've talked about this in the past, and I think once you see this, you can't unsee this. And I'm trying to come up with a name for this, okay? So yes, they are giving $1 million supposedly to the winner. But what they're really doing here in this case is they want you to sign up for their app, get on their mailing list. If you sign up for the app, then they got your email address, right? And so what's their app? The Royal Perks program. So you have to submit it using the Royal Perks program. So you got to get their app, and then you got to be signed up, and now they have your email address. So the idea is, yes, they're dangling $1 million out there for someone that comes up with this. But what they're going to get is they're going to get, I don't know, tens of thousands of people getting on their app, submitting their email address, giving probably their home address and all kinds of personal information. That's free, right? It's free to give them all that information, all that data about yourself. And then, of course, when you got the app, I'm sure the app doesn't keep track of your location. I'm sure it doesn't do that. I'm sure it doesn't see what other fast food restaurants you're in. I'm sure about that. And of course, you have the app. You give away all your contacts to Burger King. It's one big data mining thing. And they're able to do this under the guise of this $1 million prize. Well, if they wanted to go out and promote their app to get that many people to sign up for the app, it's going to cost a lot more than $1 million. It's going to be very difficult, but this is a very easy way for them to get people on their app. A very cheap way to acquire customers to an app, which is usually the most expensive part of launching an app. And additionally, but additionally, the other thing that coincides with this perfectly is the lazy journalists out there. So all of the lazy journalists, they will get a press release from Burger King, and they can just rewrite the press release and get out their story of the day. They're giving, all of these media outlets are giving free advertising for Burger King. Now, normally, they wouldn't write free stories about Burger King, but now Burger King has come up with an angle. Oh, they're giving away $1 million. And then they're able to get every single media company in the country to do a story on this, new Whopper idea. It's very clever. And I've been trying to come up with a name for this strategy. I haven't found one. I've done a lot of searching, and I haven't found one. So far, the best one I've come up with is Prize Press Email Harvest. That's a terrible name. So I'm looking for a name for this practice. And just let me define it. It's, you make some kind of prize. Often it'll be like, oh, name this new thing, right? Name the boat, or name the whatever, name our new sandwich. Whatever it happens to be. Something very easy that everybody could do. And all you have to do is download an app, send us your email, give us all your contacts, collect all the private data, because you have to do that if you're going to win, right? They have to be able to contact you if you're the big winner, if they like your thing. And it could even be like, hey, help us write a joke. Hey, we need a knock-knock joke about Burger King, right? I mean, whatever the company is. And you think, to most people, they go, oh, I could write a funny knock-knock joke. Here, I'll do this. Here, Burger King, take all my information. Take all my information for free. Under the guise, under the hope that I'm going to win that $1 million. Yeah. You're not going to win that $1 million. And you've just given them all your personal data. Congratulations. But I want a name for this strategy, and I haven't been able to find one anywhere. So like I say, Prize Press, Email Harvest. I don't know, maybe something with harvest, because you're collecting, you're collecting email, you're collecting contact, you're collecting personal data. I don't know, but I would like to write an article and make just a specific video on this concept. I've talked about it before. But I need a good name. So if you got a good name, let me know in the comments. I appreciate that. Anyway, let's get to the next story. My goodness. Okay, let's talk about unverified stories. This happened. So here is an unverified story. I want to give you the synopsis of this. This one's from the Daily Beast, but the New York Post also did it. It was done by a number of news articles. Survivors of a music festival massacre carried out by Hamas in southern Israel are struggling to cope with the trauma, and over 50 reported suicides among survivors, and many others experiencing severe psychological distress. Testimonies from survivors at a parliamentary hearing highlighted the ongoing impact of the October 7th Nova Music Festival attack, with individuals describing their struggles to function in daily life due to PTSD symptoms. Hearing also addressed shortcomings in survivor treatment. So this was the story that kind of went nationwide. 50 of the survivors have committed suicide. That's, and the headline here from the Daily Beast was almost 50 Hamas massacre survivors later took their own lives. Survivor says. Survivor says. Well, here's the follow-up story. Times of Israel. Health Ministry firmly denies claim that 50 supernova survivors took their own lives. The Health Ministry denies the claim made by Supernova Massacre survivor that around 50 fellow survivors had committed suicide since October 7th. Dr. Jalad Bodenheimer, head of mental health services, stated that such rumors not correct based on inquiries made with relevant groups treating survivors and the Tribe of Nova Foundation. During the Knesset State Control meeting, the survivor made the claim, but the ministry found no basis for it. In November, a health official mentioned around 10 survivors had been involuntarily committed to psychiatric hospitals after the massacre. So here we are. We have one person making a claim. New York Post, Daily Beast, they just run with it. They do say that a survivor made that claim, but the big headline is 50 people off themselves, right? And that story gets picked up by all the other media. Yahoo just reprinted it, Business Insider. Oh, yeah, as reported by the New York Post, as reported by the Daily Beast. And they all run this story. What none of these journalists do, and I guess technically it's true, right? Someone did say it, but that doesn't make a story. Rather than, maybe we should verify this. If we're going to put this story out, maybe we should check and see if that's true. They didn't do that because an incendiary headline like this, that gets the clicks, that gets people talking. And they know that. That's because they're shitty journalists. And terrible, terrible thing to capitalize on tragedy like this. So once again, now again, this is just what the health ministry is saying, but the health ministry in Israel is saying there's nothing to this claim. There's no evidence to this claim whatsoever. And if I were a journalist and I were being paid by a media organization, I might actually fact check that as well to find out, are there any other claims? Do we have any records of anyone doing this? But no media is going to do that because that's not what the media is today. That's not what it is today. Anyway, we got one more story about how awesome the economy is. Yikes. Yikes. Red Lobster is contemplating Chapter 11 bankruptcy to address its debt. The seafood chain seeks to renegotiate leases and shed contracts. Rising labor costs and financial challenges exacerbated by the pandemic have led to this decision. Similarly, California's new minimum wage law has forced restaurants to increase prices to manage costs. Yeah, here in Portland, I think our minimum wage is going up to $16 very shortly. Very shortly, it's going to be $16. So probably won't have any impact whatsoever on any local restaurants. Probably is not going to have any impact on how much they're going to have to raise prices. It's not really going to affect me because I think I've already been priced out of eating out. I just don't even go out to eat anymore. It's just become way too expensive. So I guess it won't affect me. I guess, right? Anyway, I don't really get Red Lobster. Red Lobster's not really for me. I don't understand it. But I do know people that I know really like Red Lobster for whatever reason. But looks like they're failing. But that's probably That's probably has nothing to do with the economy, because the economy is great. At least that's what I keep hearing from MSNBC, right? Yeah. Anyway, we need a positive story, and this is going to dovetail on a story that I did on Monday. You're going to like it. In 1978, Patrick Moriarty, a science teacher, promised his students they'd witness a solar eclipse in 2024. Now, decades later, about 100 former students gathered at his home to fulfill that promise. Moriarty, touched by their turnout, reflected on the impact teachers can have. Despite challenges, he maintains contact with students and organized the event through Facebook. The eclipse itself was overshadowed by the reunion's significance. Moriarty suggests another gathering in 20 years, echoing his initial promise and evoking laughter among attendees. So this guy is a teacher in New York, and I guess in a place that was having the full eclipse. And in 1978, he told his class that, hey, this is coming up in 2024. We'll have a party. And he just kind of made this a joke, and he would say this each year to his students. Well, then years later, when it was getting closer, he made a Facebook group for this event and turned it into a really big thing. And I think that's a positive thing. First of all, someone using Facebook for something awesome. I mean, what's that, 1%? I don't know. But also just this idea, you know, on Monday I talked about the bicycle race in Portland where they go around a roundabout 500 times. Just coming up with something silly as a way to get together with people, have a social event, have something fun, doesn't have to be serious, is really a cool thing that anyone can do. That's something that you can do. And this guy decided long ago, he was like, yeah, we'll do this in the future. And it got to the point where he could actually do it. And that turned out to be really awesome. And I'm giving you this story just to be inspired that maybe you want to make something silly, like having an eclipse party in what is it, 46 years from now. I think that's pretty awesome. I think it's good news. I think it's positive. And I like the idea of just coming up with something silly, get people together, have a good time. We probably need more of that. And so I'm all for that. Anyway, stick around for the after show. I'll go through all your comments, and I'll be back on Friday with another show. But until then, peace. Hey, there we go. I need to take that out. There we go. There we go. All right. I don't know. Maybe go old school there. No. What did I do? Okay, we got rid of that. Okay. Anyway, thanks for hanging out, everyone. Nice to see you, Natasha. Apothecary John checking in. Lucid. I love it when people come together. You know, that's what this is. We're coming together for something sometimes silly, but just the idea of people getting together, I like that. I like that. Lucid says, I don't eat at Burger King or McDonald's anymore after seeing a 20-year-old hamburger that hadn't decomposed. The mold wouldn't even eat it. Yeah, I've seen that experiment. That's pretty crazy. I've seen it done with their fries. I've seen it done with the hamburger, where you can just leave the hamburger out and nothing happens to it. It just gets hard. No mold grows on it. That's a little scary. That's a little scary. Over on Rumble, Apothecary John checking out. Hashtag Rumble Gang. Hashtag Better on Rumble. I agree. What's up, Ox? And Cheddar Steve. Smash that like button. Thanks, Cheddar Steve. It just hits different. Yeah, 100%. And let's see what else. Natasha says, how about stealth data harvesting or data harvesting distraction? I like the data harvesting and I like distraction or harvesting. That's good. Still, that's better than what I had, right? I had a dumb name for it. What did I call it? I was just playing around with different names. I came up with Prize Press Email Harvest. I mean, that's not descriptive at all. That's terrible. So I do like the like data. I don't know, data harvesting maybe data harvesting contest or scheme, something like that. I don't know. But stealth data harvesting and data harvesting distraction, better than what I came up with. Still not perfect. Right? When I see it, I'll know it. But a lot of times for an expression to take off, it's gotta just hit right, you know. And so, but stealth data harvesting, that hits better than what I was coming up with. So I appreciate the feedback there. I'll keep working on coming up with a name for this because I do think that it is a good thing to know about. As soon as you know about it, it just becomes very clear that that's what they're doing. They're just trying to collect data on you for free. Because when millions of people participate, even like this, the Survivor, right? You want to be cast on Survivor, and they're like, oh, send in the information, and you know we'll pick people from that. Most of the people that they actually pick from Survivor, they don't pick from the casting call. They actually go out and recruit them. They have agents, and they go out and they recruit the majority of the people that are on that show. They don't pick them from the people that send in the things to CBS. I think for the most part, the people that send in things from CBS, they're just collecting data on you, and you're giving it all to them for free. But do it if you want to. You know, I'm not saying don't do it. But once you see that that's what companies want, they want your information, they really want your information, then it becomes pretty clear that that's what Burger King's doing. Speaking of Burger King, I don't see a whole lot of commercials, except maybe if I'm watching some live programming, which I tend not to watch live things, but live sports sometimes. This Whopper commercial with a guy singing like totally off key is the worst commercial ever. I can't even remember it. I just know that it's really bad and it bugs me. Every time I hear that Burger King commercial, it makes me not like Burger King even more. The whole idea that all publicity is good publicity, no. Sometimes it's bad. I didn't have much of the feeling on Burger King. I don't really go fast food at all, but now I have a real negative association with Burger King because of their commercials that just run over and over and over again during live sports. It's and as much as I've heard it, I still don't know the tagline. I still can't even figure it out. Be you, be true, be Burger King, I don't even know what they're saying. I've heard it 100 times. I don't even know exactly what they're saying. And so if that's the case, to me, that's a terrible, terrible commercial, but they're throwing millions of dollars at it. So anyway, but that's all I have today. I hope you all have a beautiful hump day, beautiful midweek, beautiful Wednesday. I'll be back on Friday, and see you all next time. Peace.